come to another very, very interesting and a very versatile speaker. He's right here with us in this hall. Mr. Arif is USA Today and Wall Street Journal best-selling author of I Am Possible and Made in Crises. He's also the founder of HumanX UK. He's a Pakistani origin professional coach, motivational speaker, leadership development expert, and self-help author. He has coached top corporate leaders, heads of state, movie stars, and CEOs in leadership, emotional intelligence, and influence. Mr. Anis was awarded the highest civil honor, the Freedom of the City of London, by the City of London Corporation in 2022. He was voted Brain of the Year by Tony Buzan's Brain Trust in November of 2020. He was also named Global Man of the Year in 2019 by Global Man magazine. In his philanthropic work, Mr. Anis supports His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, the British Asian Trust. He co-founded the 1 Million Meals campaign in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and he's a trustee of the world's largest interest-free microfinance loan provider, Akhuwat. So I would like to call upon the very versatile and the very interesting Mr. Arif Anis to come on the stage with his speech on Made in Crises. Welcome, Mr. Arif Anis.
Assalamu alaikum, Islamabad. And I understand we have lots of amazing friends, global speakers from more than 25 countries. Welcome to Islamabad. Made in crisis. We all are smart, intelligent, gorgeous, resilient, successful people until the life hits us with a crisis. Until the life whacks us with a crisis. Crisis, a crises. Crisis is a time of intense difficulty, danger. Crisis is a time when an important decision has to be made. One decision that can turn around the course of life, the course of history, the course of action. Crisis, medically speaking, is a time when choices are to be made, and these choices can be life-altering. It could be a choice between the life and the death. Made in Crisis. Made in Crisis is one of the books that I co-authored with Kaiser Abbas, a great friend and one of the best coach Pakistan produced. He's present here. Made in Crisis. In Pakistan, we had a commercial that kept on running for a good many years. और वो आप सबको पता है, दाग तो अच्छे होते हैं, right? So this was a commercial actually that advertised a detergent product, advocating that when you get dirty, sometimes it's good because you can get it washed out, get it better. In this book, this is a $30 book, so I will save you money. I'll be actually giving you the gist of the entire thing. I'll be giving it away. So I move forward, and all right. Since morning, we have been talking about technology, and one of the great advantages using all those filters and Photoshop so that you can look good. So this man actually looks like me using technology. This shows one of my area of expertise, that is influence industry. But I'll be coming this to later. Before going forward, I'll be quickly taking a test. I'm sure you guys understand what's in there, right? So we understand that Mandarin, Chinese is going to be a global language for obvious reasons. So who really understands what's up here? What's written on the screen? I have a special gift to share. Right, I have one hand up. Good. Anyone else? All right, here we go. Crisis. All right. Is it one word or two words here? That's one word? All right. So half the answer is correct. Anyone else who could complete that? Right, good. What's your name? Brilliant. So 2 characters meaning one word. And this is Chinese. This is crisis written in Chinese, but there are 2 characters. One means danger, and the other one means opportunity. Right? So in very simple manner, like I'm sure without taking a bit of liberty and on a lighter note, like without causing you the death by PowerPoint, I'll be keeping it simple, just getting to the crux of the matter. These 2 words, meaning danger and opportunity in Chinese language, spelled these 2 characters actually, they spell the gist of made in crisis. Crisis is a time when there's danger, intense difficulty, and at the same time, crisis is the moment of great opportunity. In Chinese, there's a proverb and that says, there's a great chaos under the skies, and it is such an excellent time. Right. While we're talking about crisis, please raise your right hand if you have been in any kind of crisis any time of your life. All right, good. 80% of you, right? And I'm aware that this is a business leaders conference, and we've got some of the best people from Pakistan and the rest of the world. And I haven't met anyone in my lifetime who is a successful person and has never been through a crisis. So welcome to the club, actually. So if you have encountered any kind of crisis, which is, and it can be any kind of crisis, it can be a relationship crisis or financial crisis or any kind of crisis, then actually you've done something, you've learned something. And this is exactly the gist of the book, Made in Crisis. While we understand that crises are bad, and we shouldn't be actively seeking crisis, we have met people actually who are actively seeking crisis. But I'm not convincing you to actively seek crisis. But crises are good. Made in Crisis, in this book, Kaiser and myself, we propounded a theme that all of us are those actually who matter, those who are successful, those who are changing this world for better. They are made in crisis. Nations are made in crisis. People, great leaders are made in crisis. How it happens? This is exactly I'm going to share with you. And before I go forward, I'll be quickly getting to the next question. But before even I move there, I was introduced and Rabia mentioned, I am possible. This is one of my book. And we have a mantra. I will go over there by the time we finish it, when this is Made in Crisis. I'll be requesting you to have a pen or a pencil, and I'll be requesting you to write something. But before it happens, can you find your right hand? And if you can raise your right hand up in the air, and if you could kindly repeat after me. So you're going to say your name, and you'll say, I am, for example, I am Arif Anis. I am Arif Anis, and I am made in crisis. right? So when I give you 1, 2, 3, please say your name louder and say that I am made in crisis. As for your also included. All right. Okay. So please say your name and say your name and say, I am made in crisis. Say your name, please. I am Arif Anis, and I am made in crisis. Thank you. It was just 2 calories after this heavy break that you had. Do you really think that you are made in crisis? Yes or no? Right? A crisis can actually make you, or a crisis can actually break you. It works 2 ways. What do you see on the screen? What do you see on the screen? Anyone?
The boiling point of water.
Wow, excellent. Brilliant. Your name, please? Joey, actually, I saw you delivering your presentation, and what I really missed is, I missed my bow tie. I should have done it. Brilliant. You looked great. So Joey cracked it. This is the boiling point. The boiling point. If I ask you, okay, this is the boiling point of water. Joey already kind of cracked it up. What is the boiling point of milk, for example? Any idea? Okay. 100.5. 100.5 Celsius, right? So this is not that much. Oh, I'm shocked. Now, honey. Any idea? What's the boiling point of honey? 70 Celsius to 110, right? What is your boiling point? What's your boiling point? A boiling point is actually when you're going through any kind of crisis and the life gives you a dip, you manage to come out of it, right? As I've been given a dip right now that I'm left with little time, I'll be quickly going through that. Skyfall, you're familiar? Mainly, apart from that, the hero looks like me. Mainly, Skyfall's message is, what would you do when the sky falls on your head, right? In the time of crisis, that's the most difficult question. Big Bang, this whole universe, all the galaxies were founded when the Big Bang happened. The Big Bang is the time of the biggest crisis that ever took place. So the whole universe has been made in crisis. Not only you. And over here, I'll quickly read this out. This is something that's a tribute to this nation where we actually stand, Islamabad, Pakistan. So this is a tribute to Pakistanis who just celebrated their 76th freedom anniversary. You are loud and messy and chaotic, but you are also the kid who dances in the street in the monsoons. You are the beat of the dole. You are the 20 simultaneous games of cricket or any given ground. You are the only people who believe that Ludo is a game of skill. You are endless streaming of chai. You are makers of the best damn chapli kebabs in the world. You're a survivor despite tragedy, loss, and crisis. You are the I have ever seen. Happy birthday, Pakistan, you gorgeous old thing. A big round of applause for Pakistan and everyone else who is present here. I'm a storyteller, but I'm left a little time, so I'll be skipping it. One of the tests is that when you're looking at the screen, whether you are an egg or you are coffee beans or you are carrots, which one are you, by the way? Right. Cutting the story short, when the life gives you a dip and boils you up, or boils you down, if you're a carrot, you go soft. If you are an egg, you go hard. And if you're a coffee beans, then actually you do what? you totally change the aroma of the entire thing. Crisis quotient, or the CQ. The Harvard Business Review tells that in the world of future, the CQ now is among the 3 most desired skills. Your crisis quotient. Can you handle uncertainty, particularly after what we just experienced, the pandemic, the 2020 coronavirus, and whatever we all experienced together? In life, if you are a CEO, if you are on any important position, your crisis quotient is going to be determining your success in whatever you do. How to learn about it? Buy my book. And this is the book, Made in Crisis. Made in Crisis is present here, and this is what we talk about, this is what we coach, this is what we train the rest of the world. Cass and myself, we actually interviewed hundreds of CEOs all around the world, and the list actually involves, as you look at the big names over here, you have Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and Bill Gates and likes of such people, and multiple organizations, 150 major global organizations which were included in this book. Its Pakistan version is also evolving, and it should be coming shortly. 2 minutes left, time of crisis. So its Pakistan version is actually happening, and we are interviewing around 200 organizations within the country who survived and thrived during the time of crisis. And as it was just reflected, amazingly, when in January 2020, they ranked the countries who are ready to face any kind of crisis in the world, any kind of crisis in the world. So the first country was the USA. The second country was the UK, right, where I came from. This was the crisis, global crisis index in 2020, and you all witnessed how these 2 countries behaved. They totally crashed and crumbled in the times of crisis. And Pakistan actually emerged as one of the best countries in the time of crisis. A big round of applause again for yourself, you amazing people. The last 60 seconds, a story about Prince Charles and what I was talking about, his time in crisis. This is what we did in the times of crisis. We started 1 million meals, and was kind of awarded and recognized. Shackleton's story, okay? Read Made in Crisis, it's present here. Shackleton is one of the best examples. If one thing you can take away from this particular talk, Google Alexander Shackleton. He is one of the best story of failure, right? And actually, the story of failure, this is taught all over the world to the best leaders, how he behaved in the time of crisis. He wanted to conquer and explore Antarctic, and he spent actually years doing it, totally failed, but saved his 27 men in 2 years of time and came back. All right, this is Katy Perry actually talking about something that I said, but I don't know how it plays. We are already ending it. Oh, she actually can talk. Can we play this? No? All right. So I'll be actually finishing at this quote. This is a quote from the gorgeous, amazing Roosevelt, and this is a quote from the man in the arena, right? This is something, one of the most impactful one quote that I actually encountered in my life, and this is something I'll be leaving. But before we move out of it, I will be doing one mantra again with you, and that is with I am possible. One of my book is Impossible, as impossible is actually I am possible. So before we finish, can you once again raise your right hand up in the air, say your name, and say, I am your name, and I am possible. Please say your name. I am, and I am possible. And I am possible. Do it louder. Let's do it louder before we get to the lunch, in fact. So please, let's do it louder. And I am possible. Thank you so much. I'll be quickly going through this quote, And while I'm doing it, please stay with me. I hope that will leave the impact, the desired impact. It's not the critic who counts. It's the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done. Sorry, I have to go. Come here. Or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man and also the woman, so it's not sexist. The man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually survive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasm, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows, in the end, the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who never know victory nor defeat. Roosevelt, and for me, you all are the men and women in the arena. Right? Have a great evening there.